おはようございます、こんにちは、こんばんは。
もっと追加か。
あまりにも野営地に送ってるから導入しようと思いました。あれリンク切れ？
今のは2倍にするやつがリンク切れか。
じゃ5倍にするやつにしてみよう。お、いけたな。じゃ続きまして。
これはなんだ？
サイドバーが動くとかなんとか。コントローラー用のでいいのかな？あれ前提モッドあるのか？キャンプチェスト追加？まあ、入れてみるか。入れて。で動的サイドバーも入れて。で最後に、
まだ入れるのか。
これは呪文スロットがあまりに少ないだろうってことで入れてみます。4スロット追加のかな？
問題なくファイルには入ったな。
さあ起動はできるんでしょうか？
あ、またこいつカメラモッド入れてやがる。
はい、また次回抜きます。
いや全く意味わからんから。
おサイドバーちょっと小さくなってる。
呪文スロットは、
めっちゃ増えてる。
8スロットあるな。
あってことは4スロット追加じゃなくて4倍スロット追加か。まあいいだろ。で最後に荷物だ。
840キロまで持てるようになってるな。
おかしいけどもともと200キロくらい持てたから、早く読み物入れるバッグ買いたいんだよな。
じゃ早く町までたどり着かないとな。
じゃ進んでいきます。拾うもん拾ってないか。全部拾うぞ。
シルバンストーンだけが初見だな。
あ、カメラ落ちた。
なんという視点から始まってんだ。
このカメラモッド数値いじるだけってあったけどほんの少し変えるだけで変わるもんかな。こいつレベル8か。あ、また。
これ地形が悪かったみたいだな。
なんで開始がそこから始まってんだろう。ここ斜面だから地面ギリギリにカメラ置いてるとモッドが当たらないようにするために遠くにしようとするけど今度は遠すぎるから落ちてるんだと思う。あれレイブンガード大公爵って見るのか。いやでもそれは、聞いてなかったっけ？アーマークラス11だけど HP あるからかダメージそこまで食らわなかったような。リスってなんだよ。
これぬいぐるみかと思ってたよな。
あ、もう太ってしまった。プレートアーマーでいっぱいになりそう。若者は何も持ってないのか。
これギスヤンキが襲ったんだろうな。
でもあいつらアンデッドはなんで湧いてたんだ。こっちは繋がってるだけか。
え？
他に道なんかあったっけ？あっちあるけどあっちあれだよな。
あっちクレシュエイリクだろ。
このルートまだ通ったことないな。なんかあるんか。
罠あるな。
じゃあスタリオン頼むわ。いやお前ら邪魔だ。いやなんで踏むんだよ。解除しただけだろ。
爆発したのに解除するのかよ。
何に成功したんだか。めんどいぞ。これ爆発させた方が早いか。吸収は意味ないか。転がっていく。キノコあるか。いやこんなん取りに来たわけじゃないんよ。こっちあれだよな。やっぱこれクレシュエイリクに繋がってるゴンドラだよな。他に行くところなんかあったか？あ、こっちまだ行ってないか。はい、追いついたぞ。洞窟がある。からの市民。
こっちも何も持ってないな。
野営地ってゴブリンの。
これがあの脇のルートだな。
いやこっちじゃなかったらもうなくね？
あっただろう。
いやないだろって。絶対左は左だよな。でここまっすぐ行って。あ、こっち曲がってないのか。右？あ、これさっきのところかよ。
だからあるって言ったんだよ。
なんだよ、主方向音痴だったんか。 あとこれ箱開けれなくなってますね。
エリア選択しないと開けれないのが何回か続いてるな。
でこれはこっから先は闇エリアで保護されてないってか。誰かいるな。
20? なんだよ20って制限解除のモッドも入れたのか。
いや入れようかなとサイトだけ用意したのはしたけど、これすれる？あ、失敗ってかこれ無意味だって相手にバレたんか。
あ、お前か。ウプ主がハルシンだと思ってた魔法使いだな。
Perchance you retain among your traveling companions a man who adheres to the given name of Gale.
いるにはいるけど貴様何者だ。あれ選択肢楽少ないな。
いるけどさ。
Ever a man of leisure. Would it pain you greatly to assist me along the little voyage I intend to undertake to this aforementioned camp?
アスタリオンじゃなくシャドウハートで来るんだったか。お前誰か名乗れ。ゲイルを狙ってるやつかもしれん。
Should it be the nature of our acquaintance that interests you, well, you may safely classify Gale and I as friends. Should it be the nature of your present interlocutor that you desire to drag from the dark and unknown, I shall be glad to aid in your quest for illumination and identify myself as Elminster Oomar. Now, if this answer satisfies you, let us linger no longer in this limbo of indecision, but set course for your camp forthwith.
バルダーズゲートってこんなにグラフィックできてたっけ？
Oh, a splendid notion. Please, after you.
珍しく選択肢が少なかったのが気になるけど強制イベントって感じかな。アスタリオン一人で野営地に来たのか。
Ah, there you are. Now I hope you don't mind my having ingratiated myself into the most palatable graces of your provisions. You find me quite sated indeed. Yes, what a delightful wedge of old Elfturian that was. Doesn't do to parley on an empty stomach, you know. Makes one's words frivolous when they should be grave. Plenty to digest, after all. A good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster.
ジジイらしく前置きが長いな。
You see, I
何しに来たんだ。
That is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter.
ヒゲとかこれサイバーパンク超えてないか？
Forswearing the accustomed frills that decorate my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mistra.
ミストラって誰だっ
The
け？
message and the charge I bring you are hers.
ウィルの隣にいたやつの名前も忘れたわ。あれかゲイルの女でその契約で魔法を吸収しないといけない体になってんだっけ？
You know where you went wrong, Gale. And I trust you told your fellow traveler here the nature of your ills.
I can't say that so far I've volunteered the entire truth.
おここでちゃんと話すってイベントなのか。
You've never bothered to disclose how dangerous you are.
Not in so many words.
ジジイとどういう関係なんだろう。
Then you two have much to discuss after I'll have taken my leave. In short, Gale, through his own doing, has become a living explosive that could wipe from this world this very gathering, and much more besides.
マッチ棒
For his folly, Mistra forsook him. But now, she has decreed he is to be given a chance of redemption.
Mistra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mistra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both.
二人ってなん
She
だ。
knows of your strife with the Absolute. That most insidious of evils.
ミストラはアブソリュート派ではないのか。
神々でさえ知っているのなら、どうして単独で対処しなくてはいけない？
They choose the instruments of their will with great precision. Sometimes the single drops we think we are do not realize what waves we are building up to be.
ここらから理解しようとする気がなくなってきたかも。
And by the same token, do not discount your enemy. You must know that the absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction. It is Mistra's belief that only you can.
なんでゲイルだけ？
The orb.
Precisely. That which renders him so dangerous is an orb of Netherese origin that is buried within his chest. And that, Gale, is how we arrive at the heart of my directive. Mistra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
自在に解き放つ？
This could be help or hindrance.
自爆できるってこ
We shall
と？
have to see.
You must find the heart of the absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
心臓を、アブソリュートの心臓を爆弾と入れ替えろ？どういうことだ？ゲイルはそれによるメリットデメリットはなんかは何も聞いてないけど。
But it seems that Mistra is.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend, but such is Mistra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the absolute.
あ、マルネって言われたってことか。わかりやすくていいな。
Be redeemed. Such is Mistra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece, and need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid. Mina hastra mistrarium Italion thras annas
去年だったかにしたミッドナイトサンズの呪文あったの思い出したけど全く覚えてないわ。
Both charge and charm have been committed into your care. To you, I commit into care Gale himself. I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest of journeys.
お前は仲間にならないキャラなのか。まあいいよ、わかったよ。
On my honor, I'm not sure yet I can say the same.
Like moons make swell and wane the nescient seas, so too the sky-strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet, an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breadth of our dominion. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will.
眠たくなるんで早く言い切ってもらえます？
Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you.
実績リペイリングザウィーブ解除。
シャドウハートで話します。
An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I suppose it's time we dealt with the Hollyphant in the room. You have questions for me? And I promise I have answers.
やっとゲイルの隠し事が聞けるんだな。オーブとはなんだ？
Well, that's a rather long and complicated story. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but
ウィーブってそもそもなんだっけ？
much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself, the Lady of Mysteries, the goddess Mistra.
ミステリーの神
She
なの
revealed
か。
herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse, and later even my lover.
大女神とやった人間なんだな。
Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more.
他の
You
女
see, no
神に
matter
も手
how
を出した
powerful a
と。
wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mistra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
その境界を越えるために何をした？具体的
I
に。
tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
ここまで来たなら全部話せ。
Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise.
ラピュ
I'll
タ
save
か。
his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite, and his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal, roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms, until the day Mistra returned.
ある日、
She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess?
へえ、それでその答えは？
The answer was to try. The outcome was to fail. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mistra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next, here, place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
なんだって？本を開いたら胸に何か入ったと？
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in, into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
へえ、だから魔法を入れてなんやかんやしようとしてたのか。
世界を終わらせる怪物だったの
All
か。
this time, I've been traveling with you despite the tadpole in your head. We are none of us monsters. We are merely hatcheries for monstrous things. And still it gets worse. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however,
爆発と、
I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
へえ、魔法世界らしくなってき
Fortunately,
たな。
this need no longer be a concern. Not until I meet the heart of the Absolute, whatever that is.
ラストまでわからんのかな。どうしよう。
いい時間になったな。
じゃまあ一旦切るか。ってことで続きは明日。ご視聴ありがとうございました。
お疲れ様でした。